Hello everyone, my name is Black Hole and today I'm gonna be showing you how to make an LED pocket badge. First take a PCB, a perf board, or you can call it a zero PCB. And then take some LEDs. I'm going to be needing 5 LEDs, but you can take as many as you like. Now take the LED and push its leads into the holes of the PCB. And while you are doing that, make sure that you keep all the same terminals on one side. For me, I kept all of my positive on the downside and all of my negatives on the upper side. Just make sure that all the same terminal are on one side and all the other terminals are on the other side. And once you are sure, mark your PCB for which side is which. It can get very confusing and you might forget it, so make sure that you mark it with a marker. It doesn't matter if you write something on this side of the PCB, it wouldn't interfere with the connection, so don't worry about it, just write the polarity with the marker. You can try different designs with your LEDs to see if they look good or if they work, and once you are done and you are happy with your design, just bend the LEDs of the LEDs in the opposite direction from one another so that your LEDs can stay on PCB without soldering. Solder time! Now flip the board and take some flux. Now however you may do it, but make sure that you apply flux to every single lead of the PCB, every single hole, and make sure that you apply enough flux. You're never gonna have any problem if you apply a lot of flux, but you're gonna have a lot of problem if you didn't apply enough flux. If you're bad at soldering, then apply as much flux as you can because flux helps in soldering way too much, and you should know about it if you want to learn soldering. And once everything is soldered, cut the leads of the LEDs. And right now, while you're soldering it, don't worry about the connections. Just make sure that you connect the LEDs onto their pads. You have already marked where all the positive terminals are and where all the negative terminals are. So you don't have to worry about connecting them right now. I am using the LED leads to make connections in my PCB. It's easier to use the LED leads if we have straight lines, but if you don't have straight lines, you can use a normal flexible wire like I did for the smile, but for the eyes I use the LED leads because it's better to use the LED leads for straight connections. And again, make sure that while you are soldering these wires, you apply enough flux to all the wires. Flux is the secret to soldering. You should learn that early on in soldering. And again, once everything is soldered, make sure that you cut the extra leads. Now you might have noticed that I didn't make all the connections together. I am making sections. I have an upper half section and a lower half section, and I am going to connect them together later. But for now, take a battery holder and solder some wires to it, positive and negative. I am going to use a tape to make sure the wire doesn't come off the battery holder, but you can use glue if you want to. And once you've done that, check all the connections, all the sections separately. You don't have to connect all of them together right now, but make sure that all of your different sections work. If you make some complex designs by yourself, making different sections is going to help a lot. And in the end, check if it works or not. Yay, mine works! Make sure that yours do as well. And now you have to cut the PCB, and so before you cut the PCB, mark the outline of the PCB where you want to cut it. The holes of the PCB will help you in making straight lines, so you might not need a scale for that, but for cutting the PCB, I think a paper cutter is the best tool that you can have. Don't try to cut it with scissors or wire cutters. And now we are going to make a box for our LED badge. I am using some cardboard and I am making the LED box like this. If you can eyeball everything, I think you should eyeball everything, but if you can't eyeball everything, you should definitely make measurements, a lot of them. Like I am making a lot of measurements, that way everything looks good. This thing that I just stick on it is paper. I used hot glue, but you don't have to use normal glue, I just couldn't find it. You can use any glue or tape, but I think hot glue makes it much more sturdy. And now in the end, connect the battery holder wires to the PCB and now glue the PCB to the box. I am going to color this box with markers, but you can use normal colors. I just thought that it would look better with markers. Now we are going to make the clip that will hold this badge into the pocket and then add a back panel to our LED box. Now as you can see that this clip has no grip, and that's because it is cardboard, and that's why I couldn't film it, but I had glued the top part of this clip to the back panel so that it makes sure that the clip holds the badge tightly. But I'm sorry I couldn't film it. And now in the end, once you're done, just slide it in your pocket. My camera couldn't see the design of LEDs on the badge, but it is very clearly visible to the normal eye. It's just that the camera can't see it. I could get that in photos, but I couldn't get that in video. My camera couldn't see the design in video. And if you like that, please like, share and subscribe. I hope you liked it. Thanks for watching this video.